Welcome back, you guys. Today is steering day. If you guys watched previous episodes, you've seen me start bolting some new parts on here. Got all the front suspension on, at least the rotors for the new brakes, since the calipers don't fit behind those wheels, and that's what it's gonna have to roll around on for a little bit until I get the rest of the car put back together and get some measurements for some custom offset wheels, or just any wheels that fit those brakes. So if you haven't seen that, go back, check out the suspension video, check out the brake video. Today we are going through the steering. I mean, this isn't, I could have easily taken the steering off of that subframe and put it on this one. Steering box is coming off that, ain't going on this. There's nothing wrong with that. Eventually we'll go to a quick ratio, but for now, doing it on the cheap. So I ended up searching for a set, or for a whole new unit for my steering, and come to find out they're pretty expensive. The best place I found, which is where I got this from, they sell it as a whole kit. It's from Speedway Motors. They sell a whole kit. I believe I got the invoice in here for it. It was yeah, $139.95 for what you see here. Not including, this comes with the suspension, or with but it does have the regular, you know, anodized rod connectors. So from what I can see, they're not like moved or anything, but they are, everything is fully greasable. It's all got a grease cert on it. It's all new. So the only thing I did do, the center bar was good. It's all, it looks like they shot that with some sort of paint. It's nice and shiny. The outer tie rods, they were just raw casting. I don't know, you can see the line on there. I ended up taping around it, scuffing it, painting it. These seals end up covering all of it up. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and put these together. First, before we start putting them together, we gotta go take our measurements from our old steering. We're gonna measure, when we go to put these tie rods together, measure the distance from top to top, so that we know how long that is left to right, and just makes it a little easier. So I am going to go through and get some measurements, and yeah, I'll stick you on a little bit of a go through here, and get this going. See, the shields cover where I didn't paint, so go ahead and get this going and come back to you. And that's it. Probably noticed there I kind of screwed up which ones I had on which. Got my measurements, rough measurements from end to end. I did go ahead and throw some anti-seize in these, just so they don't stick when you go to adjust them. I took out my caliper here. You guys can go Harbor Freight. I believe it's a Harbor Freight brand. And measured from, bring it up to you guys. Measured the threads on each side just to make sure I was somewhat close to the center on each side, because this is threaded differently on each side. So when you screw it one direction, it pushes both of them out, or if you screw it the other direction, it does the opposite, it sucks both of them in. So that's what I went ahead and did. And yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and start bolting some of this stuff on. It did come with a new arm for the passenger side. I already put that on, painted that, put that on with new hardware. So we're gonna go ahead and get this crossbar on, and then eventually, excuse me, eventually I'm gonna have to go over there and take that steering box off and get that cleaned up and painted. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get this going on there. I'll take you guys down there. Okay, excuse me. A few minutes later, got the old steering box out of the old subframe over there. She's currently bleeding in a bucket, so I'm going to kind of disassemble this thing a little bit, because I just want to do an inspection on it and see, you know, inside here there's joints inside your steering shaft. Just cover on it. Thing wasn't leaking, ran fine. Like, we're just gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning up too. But this thing's kind of looking a little suspect. So we're gonna go through and I'm gonna yank that off. But if you can see here, it's a little blown out up top. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do there, I mean, there's no play in it, but she's definitely broken. The rubber's all broken. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get online here and get a new one of those ordered. Hopefully I don't have to order the entire shaft, but kind of looks like I'm gonna have to. So keep your orientation. Try not to move that steering box. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm gonna order a new steering shaft. This one did not come with one on it, so we're going to get this all cleaned up. Gonna pull this pitman arm off. Like I said, when we go to install this, we got to make sure that we align everything back the way it came. Otherwise, you're gonna have issues. I mean, you just have to start taking stuff apart. But so it's a few days later. I had to go back to work. Holidays over. Usually we get about a week off. So it is Friday. Made it through a whole week. Woohoo. So, anyway, ended up ordering the whole new steering shaft here because of that crack. See that crack in there? Found it on Classic Industries. Just ordered the whole thing. It was $124. Just extra insurance. I'm going this far with it. Might as well go the rest of the way with it. So, ended up getting the steering box all cleaned up and painted up. Just a quick paint job on it. So got it all degreased and painted up. Everything seems to be good on it. All the seals look great. So then ended up sandblasting and painting the or getting the bolts all re-black oxidized. So I would have loved to get new ones, but they don't repop new ones, I don't believe. So my car was in relatively good shape. I bought a clean car, so I'm not too worried about it. It had 96,000 original miles on it. Again, sorry purists, but this is what I wanted to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. So I don't feel too scared about putting those older bolts on this car. Like I said, the car was relatively clean. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get that steering box on. I did notice something in the clips that I screwed up, and I'll show you once I get the tie rods back on what I screwed up on assembling them. Kind of forgot a couple parts. So with that, I'm gonna set you guys up here and go ahead and put that steering box on. So like I said, it's been about a week. It's been about a rough week here in Illinois. You're gonna hear my heater running a lot more in these, and I'm sorry, but currently right now I believe I think it's 2 degrees with a wind chill of 11 below, somewhere around there. The garage is insulated. Garage door is insulated, but it's a garage. It's not perfect, so yep. It's cold out. I'm done with it already. Ready to move somewhere warm. So, but family here, everybody else here, so stick it out, I guess. So you're gonna hear a little bit more of my heater. Got this video, and then I have to find out what we're going into next. Made a big parts order yesterday. Got the rest of everything major for the car, so we gotta see when that stuff starts coming in. My steering shaft is not here yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and just bolt this in place. Like I said, it's freezing outside, so not planning on rolling this outside right now. So go ahead and get bolt in place. Set our steering shaft on there. Scratch anything. Grab another bolt. Clean the oil off of them. Said I re-black oxidized the old ones, so we're in pretty good shape.
Yep, get that in place, and I will go ahead and reinstall the tie rods and show you what I screwed up on. Everybody makes mistakes. That's why before you go out and drive any of these things, you just kind of do a once over on everything, because you never know what you did. It's like when I try to put stuff on, I like to try to make sure I have all the pieces to finish it, because then you're, oh, I gotta go back and do that. I gotta go back and do this. I gotta, you know, you don't want that. Make sure you have all the pieces you can to finish the project, so that you know it's done when it's done. So sometimes you gotta wait on parts. I like to try to wait on parts, and especially in this day and age, you gotta wait on parts. I like to wait on parts, and when the parts come in and I have all the parts to finish the project, then I finish the project. So I know some people are working on a little different budget than per se I am. I have saved up quite a while to do this project to the fullest, so I'm not cutting any corners and buying the stuff that I really want. So we did end up changing our mind on the fuel tank and the fuel situation. We were going to go with the Holly drop-in unit, and ended up changing our mind on that. See, once that comes in and I start to install that, get her good and tight so she doesn't fall off the frame. Probably will go back and red Loctite those. But so nice, pretty, and cleaned up. Get this castle nut started on here, and I will go get the tie rods and be right back with you. So, got your tie rods here. This is what I did wrong. Forgot to put those nuts in there. Silly me, trying to rush stuff. That's why I said take your time, put the stuff together, and yeah, so put this back together and I will show you where we're at when we're done. Okay, and that's it for the steering. Got all my castle nuts and cotter pins in. Box all painted up. Tie rods all connected same way, castle nuts, cotter pins. She's coming along. Just gotta wait for that steering shaft to connect the dots. So hopefully that'll be in on Monday, and I will be able to finally get this thing wrapped up and back on 4 wheels, which would be awesome. So definitely getting there. Biggest part of this now is fill that void. There's something supposed to be there. So we'll get it back on
4 wheels again and start mocking that new motor up in there. Well, new to me. So, little junkyard LS over there. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's a L33 5.3 liter all aluminum. It's got 799 heads. She needs a bath, so hopefully it warms up soon so I can give that thing a bath, at least for a day. Usually we get that once or twice a year or a winter here. It'll warm up to about 50 degrees, and it's usually a day I try to pack stuff in. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys off here, and no, it wasn't quite an action-packed, beautiful new parts like before, like the previous 2 episodes, but it's what I got. It's where I'm at. Tried breaking it down into suspension, brakes, at least the front brakes, spindles, and now steering. So we will finish this all up. Like I said, wait for our steering shaft to come in, and yeah, get it back on 4 wheels. Steerable 4 wheels. So could have put it down on 4 wheels before, but I wanted to make sure the steering shaft was hooked up, the steering box. So with that, leave you guys off. Like, subscribe, come back to fill this void, and we got some okay parts on the way. So dress this thing up a little bit, and yeah, come back, see what we're gonna do. So have a good one.